Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm out bright and early, man. It's a nice, beautiful day out. Nice little chill. Not super cold because I definitely would have regretted wearing short sleeves. But yeah, man, I hope everyone's doing all right. All the beautiful souls that are watching this. I was watching some videos last night and I came across, something that still stuck with me, to the following morning, right? Do you ever get like super intense emotions, like whether it be like super intense feelings of happiness or sadness, right? Or anger, right? No matter what emotion it might be, right? Do it ever just get so intense? And maybe sometimes you might even feel like, dang, why did I even react like in such a extreme way, or maybe in your head like an extreme way? Well, I definitely feel those. I definitely feel intense emotions, right? Intense feelings of anger, intense feelings of sadness and happiness, right? And I think that these emotions serve us really well to let us know that we're living, and we are human, able to feel these emotions to such an extreme value, right? Even if the situation may not be the greatest to where you are feeling these emotions, the fact that you are able to feel them at all is like, just shows like how much you are able to live in that moment, right? And feel this extreme emotion. Because here's why, like, I think that resonates with me and why I care about it. Because for most of my life, I was suppressing my emotions. I was suppressing them because I felt like, they didn't really matter, right? I would suppress my feelings of sadness, or maybe my feelings of anger, right? And, I would feel like extreme moments of happiness, right? But not to the full extent that I could have, or like that I was feeling like internally, right? I was suppressing my emotions for so long, and maybe a lot of you can relate to that. Maybe you've been told, like your emotions don't really matter, or if someone might have told you, like, you need to zip it up, right? You need to stop doing that, or whatever it is that you might have been doing, right? Which might have led you to suppress them and bottle them up. And that's not good, because when you bottle up something for so long, eventually it's gonna burst. It's going to come out in one way or another, right? Whether the top blows open or the entire bottle breaks and everything just leaks out, right? Same thing with emotions. If you keep suppressing them for so long and so long and so long, it's gonna turn into it's gonna turn into a more extreme version of whatever it is than if you were to have just released it before, right? Like if you were constantly bottling up your anger or your sadness, right, it's gonna turn into resentment or bitterness or animosity, whatever it is that you are currently equating that to. It's gonna turn into an extreme version of that, right? If you are not allowing yourself to feel like happiness, right? If you're not allowing yourself to feel happiness, eventually you're just going to become a husk of yourself, right? And, you're going to be like dull to, things that might have made you happy before, because you didn't allow yourself to feel it, right? Or, you might even question, like, your own enjoyment of things. Like, am I really enjoying this, or am I just forcing myself to feel this way, right? Suppressing your emotions, right, is something that really resonates with me and a lot of people that I know in my life. I know a lot of people who suppress their own emotions, right? And I see it manifest in a lot of different ways, whether it be my friends, coming to me like during like an outburst, right? Or, like a cry for help because they don't know what to do, because they're feeling this intense feelings of sadness, but they never had an outlet for it because they kept bottling it up, and now it's manifesting into this extreme form of like, man, I don't know what to do. Like, like they don't want to be here anymore, right? That's why it's important to release your emotions, right? Myself included, being vulnerable here. I had really extreme I had an extreme moment a time ago, right? I got a couple years at this point, thankfully, where it was like I was going through so much stuff and I didn't have an outlet, or I didn't have someone to help me like process my emotions, right? And so what I would do, I would just end up numbing myself. And then, it led to a point where, I was just so overworked. I was so overwhelmed. I was going through loss. I was going through grief. Like, I was so many things all at the same time, that then it led me also breaking down in the car that I was driving at the time, and just bawling. And like, I was like, man, I can't do this anymore, right? And I didn't want to be here either, but I didn't have anyone to rely on. And so I was contemplating. And then my mom ended up calling me, right? Which helped me out a lot, because she told me that she did care about me. And that made me want to keep going, right? And I think that was definitely something like, she just had a feeling that something was wrong, and so she felt like calling me at the exact time that I needed her to, right? And that's just me being vulnerable. I want to share my experiences, because maybe they could help someone else, right? But that was a while ago. Right now, I went through therapy. I have a whole change in environment and the people that I talk to and the things that I do. And while it is still a process, overcoming some of the habits that I've built, through my adolescence, through my childhood, like breaking them / overcoming them, and actually dealing with my emotions, it is still a process, but I'm learning to do it every day. And that's why when I saw this video talking about, feeling these extreme emotions and being and like knowing that you're alive, I think it's important. Man. Being able to feel shows that you're alive. If you are constantly not feeling, or maybe not constantly, right? Because everyone's different, right? Everyone feels certain ways about everything, right? But if you are constantly going about life, maybe you don't experience these strong emotions, right? Maybe you just aren't living in the current moment, right? I think, because again, like I want to clarify, right? I know not everyone has super strong emotions. Some people are more, neutral, right? Or maybe they just go with the flow in their own way. But if you do feel strong emotions and you are holding them in, I think you are doing yourself a disservice, right? You need to let yourself feel these emotions, right? No matter what it is, right? I can't speak for you. I can't speak for your life. But if you are holding on to something, let it go, man. Let it out. If it's anger, if it's sadness, if it's happiness, if it's whatever, right? Let it out, man. Allow yourself to be human. Expressing emotions is the most human thing that we can do. One of the most human things that we can do. And so by not allowing yourself to express them, you are doing yourself a disservice. You are hurting yourself. And I just don't think it helps, man. Maybe it might help in a moment, right? Like where, you might feel an emotion that might be quote unquote like inappropriate for the setting. Sure. But, if it's something like more extreme, like loss, you're not allowing yourself to grieve, or if you are like constantly in a situation where you're angry, but you're not allowing yourself to actually express that anger, or if you're not allowing yourself to just be happy about the life around you, allow yourself to feel that way, man. It's a beautiful world we live in, man. But the world is only as beautiful as you make it. Everybody's going to go through challenges. Everybody's gonna go through struggles, no matter where they're born, no matter where they are, no matter who they are, right? Everybody goes through challenges. Everybody. Good morning, man. How you doing? I love your dog. Yeah, everybody, right? And you can let these challenges define you and hold you back, or you can change the pain that comes with them and turn it into something more beautiful. But yeah, it's a nice day out. I'm gonna try to get some more sun later on today. But yeah, it's nice being out here. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up now. About to start heading back. If you're seeing this, I love you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Make sure to take care of yourself, because the only person who can take care of you is you. And always remember, allow yourself to feel these emotions. You are only human after all. Have a good one.